Oh yeah, it came to my attention. I'm being distracted by my sister and her however she met her dude and her dude, her my older sister. They came over, didn't say hello. She said, the light. I was like, why didn't you say hello? She said, I didn't know if you were sleeping. You didn't hear me talking the whole time on this video, and the light was on. Anyways, I'm silently being cursed by the what's conversation upstairs, and the point I was trying to make was he doesn't help me financially, and she does. I appreciate her from time to time with what she knows how to. City, don't judge her. She doesn't. She went to my older sister went to school at OSU for communications, and she went to school. She doesn't understand the open air hustle, open air market, and she doesn't understand the business. I'm business minded. I had a vocational in high school, cooperative marketing management, and intro to business. You know, I'm business minded, and what's it called? And people disrespect that in me, and to this day, where we don't break bread, you know, it's stupid. And what's it called? You know, I don't have an inheritance, and the only thing that is given to me was the car by my mother. And with that said, I was trying to make a point about when I was riding and walking through the years of 2012 to 2015, before the CIA led me to a committed courier company right over by the Richmond Brothers building on around July of 2015. I needed about to build off of that, and I'll go back to the shoes. What's it called? I was training to be a bicycle messenger in New York City, and my sister going to school introduced me to bicycle couriers in Columbus. I said, "Damn, what a fucking job." She said, "Yeah." I said, "Damn, I'm gonna try it." So I trained. That's why I trained the way I did. I was ride to train for New York City circuit, and I wanted to hit other cities. I already explained it in a past video. And with that said, let me see here. Yeah, a CIA agent that I used to speak to from time to time, that what I would see in the city, that you know, he was just cool with me. He had issues with crack, and what's it called? And I don't know if he was an informant or agent. He saw me in front of the Richmond Brothers building around July of 2015, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Whatever. I said, "I'm training to be a messenger." He said, "Oh, you want to be a messenger?" He said, "I know who you need to talk to." I said, "Oh, bet." I already knew of Chris with Committed Courier Company, and I didn't know if I should work with him or Bonnie Speed. I didn't want to work with Bonnie Speed because, well, it used to be called, the original owner called it Bunny Speed, like rabbit. And then the new owners took over the company and changed it to Bonnie Speed. So I thought, man, if you're gonna disrespect the owner like that, no disrespect to Bonnie Speed. What's it called? I don't wanna be a part of it. I wanted to do independent courier work. You know what I'm saying? And you still do when you work for the companies. When I worked for Chris, short lived, uh, worked with Chris, I'll put it that way, because I signed an independent contract with him that stated, if you die, it's not his fault. That was the only requirement. If you get injured or you die, it's not his fault. He's not liable. I said, bet. But this agent took me to Chris at 38th and St. Clair, where I thought he was going to take me to someone on the east side that I could do delivery for or with, you know, because we were over by 55th by the Richmond Brothers building, the Bando. I was right in front of it, where the Bando school is. But he walked me to Chris. Chris, I was prematurely ready to ride with Chris, but since I was directed there, I needed like 2 or 3 more months to ride every day to hit Chicago. That's the skills I had. I was gonna just skip Cleveland and hit Chicago, do Chicago 6 months for a year, save up my money, and then hit New York. what's it called? But he took me to Chris. Let me get back to the shoes in a minute. The blue Nikes. People do that to me all the fucking time. And what's it called? The agent took me there. He said, "Hey, this is who I'm talking about." I said, "Oh, I already know he was here. I'm not ready to talk to him." But he was like, he was in the top window. He shouted out to Chris, and Chris said, "Oh, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, you ride?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, come with me." He said, "Come with me. I got to deliver something. I want to test your skills." So I got in his car. He had like a little Saturn. I put my bike in the back with his. He had a nice fixed gear. And then we delivered something over downtown. And then he said, "Hop on the bike." And I said, "All right." And we rode together. He said, all right. I respect your skills. If you want to work, we could work. I said, "All right, fuck it." So I started working with Chris. But I was doing more food delivery with him. I wasn't able to get up 8 in the morning. I was like up at 11 o'clock noon. He needed somebody for a package order and the mail order with the legal filing and whatnot, 8 a.m. And I would only commit from like 11, 12, but he would work me till like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And I was doing mostly food orders. And you get more tips that way. And the most I made, I did from Sushi 86 off of East 4th and Prospect. I delivered 9 styrofoam boxes of sushi. There were 3 bags on my handlebars. You had to have clean hands, clean nails, wash your hands because of the sushi. I delivered it right around the block. It was like $160 ticket. It took me like 5 minutes to get there. They gave me a $60 tip, cash money. I said, damn. And then I ran into Shara. I was abstinent for about a year. And I saw her outside ABC Tavern. And I flew past her on my bike, holding a speaker, blasting some music, no-handed as a messenger. And she looked at me, I looked at her. I should have stopped, but I knew she was probably with someone. We haven't talked in years. And then that's when I was introduced to that whole situation with the girl, the Comanche Krishana. I'll talk about that more. And I thought Krishana was Shara's replacement because I saw Shara that day. But we'll discuss more about this another time. If I have to make another video, I got to get back to the shoes. What's it called? I used to thrift shop secondhand. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't taught, you see, like, never use wear someone else's clothes. You know what I'm saying? The hood logic. I never was taught that. And what's it called? I went to Unique Thrift on Fulton and Franklin. No, Fulton and Lorraine. And there was a pair of size 11. I'm 9'10", but there's a pair of size 11. Black and blue, high top, Nike Air Force One, Nike North Air Force Ones that had like a jean, blue. They were blue and black, leather. And I said, "Damn, those are bad. I don't want to rep the blue." I said, however, those shoes got there. And what's it called? I said I didn't want to rep the blue. And I was going to spray them. I was going to spray them all black. Because what I noticed about people in the city was almost everyone downtown, like that was wheeling and dealing or doing whatever. And everyone wore black. And that's what I wanted to do too. I wanted to have black bike, black gear. So I didn't disrespect any gang or any colors. But I was forced to ride with my blue and black shoes on. And then I think I was drawing attention from the Crip gang. And what's it called? They did a lot of stuff with that. And what's it called? Somebody defended me on the Rapid one day. I was going on the west side. They clipped me again. Let me try to finish this story. Oh, it's going to be painful. On the Rapids, somebody dropped a Cleveland Indians hat that was red and white. And it said Cleveland Indians. I don't know if it had Wahoo on it. I hope it didn't have Wahoo because I respect the name Cleveland Indians. It would have been better if it was the Erie tribe, if its name changed to. But I hate the name Guardians, and I didn't vote for it. I was homeless when they voted that in. But if I had Wahoo, no disrespect to Native Americans, because I understand how that is racist. The red man on it. No disrespect for me saying that either to Native Americans, red man. No disrespect, please. Don't take it the wrong way. But I picked up that hat and I drew on the bottom of it, the green of it. I drew my art, and it looked like a crown. I would flip the hat up, and that's the gear I rock. I would always wear shorts and a button-up shirt, button up to my collar, and I wear shorts, black socks, and I had my blue and black Nike North on that I got, and I was rocking the red, white, and blue, and then I was good because it was American colors. Hear me? A lot of people started following suit, and a lot of the people already had followed suit doing that, already were doing that, both who were in the Crip Blood gangs, and a lot of people just did that to be an American, to show like I could wear red and blue. And a common thing that was taught, that I was taught in old Cleveland before the casino, was it really didn't matter what color you wore downtown specifically, because you could have been an agent. But if you go into certain neighborhoods repping a certain color, especially on the east side, then you got into some fucking problems. And that happened to me wearing those blue and black Nikes over there on St. Clair. I remember one time this fucking Chrysler 300 pulled up and was filming me, and he said, turn around, over by like 73rd and St. Clair. He said, turn around right now. And I said, for what? You know what I'm saying? And he just said, turn around right now. And I said, bet, bro, I'm not gonna have no problems with you. You know, or I kept going. I don't fucking remember. And what's it called? What's it called? People took that out of context to this day. I was trying to rock to this day all black, as I do now. And what's it called? Let that be resolved with the city, because I've seen certain people hint at wearing blue shoes in these past couple years of gaslighting, and kind of hinting at the time when I was wearing blue shoes. And I know it's a false flag issue and a misinterpretation issue, but really someone who saved my life threw that Indians hat down when I was just rocking blue and black, made me red, white, and blue. And that was my uniform when I was riding my bike through the year of 2000 and I don't know when I got those shoes, 2014, 2015, but I would wear them every day, my outfit, when I was cycling. And after Krishana after I saw Shara, this was I'm gonna move forward. What's it called? Started with Committed Courier Company in July of 2015. In August, September, this is when this happened. What's it called? Not long after that, I'm gonna skip that story for now, and I'm gonna come back to it because it's a very important story as to why I'm being murdered. And what's it called? I'll just say when I met her, I'm not gonna say it right now. It hurts too much to talk about it. It hurts so bad. What's it called? I got injured after linking up with her accidentally. And what's it called? I pulled a sciatic nerve, and or something along those lines. I couldn't move my legs for 2 weeks because I overshot myself. And this is around September of 2015. And what's it called? My sister's boyfriend is being real gay to me right now, fucking talking shit, and it causes my body to lock up. with the pseudo personality. You see what he just did to me? Fucking makes me take it because he's a fucking occupying trapper or whatever the fuck. However, he met my sister on a dating site. And what's it called? What was I gonna say about that? Let me try to draw back the thought. I pulled a sciatic nerve. I was stationed at my mom's house on Keystone, my parents' house, and I couldn't move. I literally could not walk for 2 weeks. I had to drag myself to the bathroom, and then I was able to walk again. It fucked up my riding, fucked up with Committed Courier Company. I talked to Chris. To this day, he never fired me. Chris just said, "Get your shit together." And I said, "All right." And then, what's it called? I've contacted him not too long ago, like months ago. And I'll contact him again after this talk. And what's it called? What's the point I'm trying to make here? Oh yeah, when I was over by Krishana's house, off of Queen and 25th, where the old skate park used to be, I went there, and what's it called? Brandon Cortilione was someone from Parma that was an art student that grew weed in Tremont, was shot in his apartment. They left his stack of money. They left all his weed. They left him tied in a chair with a gunshot wound to the stomach that he bled out. It was an unsolved death. I spoke to a Latin king over by that skate park around October of 2015. That I mentioned that story to him, and he said, "I know who did it." And that person, one of the people, also said that they used to walk past the Seymour house where those girls got kidnapped like every day, and they didn't know nobody was in there. And then I saw a Thrasher skateboarding magazine was touring with a skateboarding crew when I was over there in the daytime one time in around July to August of 2015 to September. And I was there, and they filmed us for a documentary, and I said, "Don't film me." And then one of the Thrasher photographers with the skate crew, he said, "Can I take your picture for Thrasher magazine?" Because I told him I was a bicycle messenger in Cleveland. He said, "Oh, that's badass." He said, "Can I take your picture for Thrasher skateboarding magazine?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "I'll give me your email, and then I'll email you the pictures." And he did. I lost those. I wish I still had them because it was a badass picture. But I was wearing those blue and black Nike Norths with the Cleveland Indians hat with my gear shorts and zip up in a book bag on with my Panasonic right here. I don't know if the picture ever made it to Thrasher Skateboarding magazine, but definitely Thrasher recognized me when I was a messenger and was going to take a picture and put me in Thrasher Skateboarding magazine at the time. That aside, we'll talk about this Krishana issue as this unfolds. I know it's going to draw a lot of fucking problems. That's why they're murdering me. Part of why they're murdering me. All right, peace.